And so the invitation here is just to arrive in this present moment. And you might arrive by just feeling how the body feels right now, in this moment, in the seated posture. Perhaps noticing the gravity against the body. Perhaps noticing the feet against the floor, sensations of clothing against the shoulders. Just noticing the contact points of the body against the floor, the chair. And if you wish, taking a nice, long, nourishing, deep breath here. And allowing the out-breath to be just slightly longer or slower than the in-breath. That slower, longer out-breath can sometimes bring a sense of stillness, of calm to the heart, to the body. Then just allowing the breath to return to its uncontrolled breathing pattern. And while we're noticing the breath, you might also notice the rising and falling of the abdomen as you inhale and exhale. It's not uncommon to carry tension or stress in the muscles of the abdomen, and so the invitation here is to allow any stress or tension to go, allowing the muscles there to soften, relax. You might also notice the rib cage expanding and contracting with each breath. The rising and falling of the shoulders as you inhale and exhale. You might also notice the back moving out as you breathe in as you breathe out. Perhaps noticing the body straightening up slightly as you breathe in and leaning forward slightly as you breathe out. You might also notice the breath entering the nose and touching the back of the throat, and perhaps just noticing the temperature changing from cooler to warmer at the nose and the back of the throat as you breathe in and breathe out. Resting, breathing. And while resting here with the experience of breath, we can turn attention and awareness to any sensations arising from the feet. This might be the feet against the carpet or floor, or there might be socks against the skin of the feet. Inviting the muscles in the feet to relax, rest, grow soft. You might also notice sensations of clothing against the legs, inviting the muscles in the legs to rest. Perhaps noticing the weight of the body against the chair or cushion, inviting the muscles underneath those sensations to grow soft and unwind. You might also notice sensations of clothing against the back, inviting the muscles in the back to rest, relax. You might also notice the hands resting against the body or touching each other, the arms resting against the body, inviting the hands and arms to unwind and grow soft. You might also notice sensations of clothing against the shoulders, inviting the muscles in the shoulders to rest. There might be sensations arising from the back of the neck and the sides of the neck, inviting the muscles in the neck to rest. You might also notice sensations arising throughout the cheeks of the face, letting any tension or stress that's held in the face go. And noticing any sensations arising from the top of the head, the very crown of the head. Resting, breathing, and while resting here with the experience of breath and body, we can now turn our attention to any sounds which might be available. Not necessarily focusing on any one sound in particular, but resting with the entire field of sound. Noticing all of the sounds all at the same time. And while resting here, listening to the present moment, you might notice a backdrop of silent space there. Perhaps noticing how the sounds of the present moment interact with the backdrop of silent stillness. And so resting, breathing, feeling, listening. And while resting here in this present moment, we'll begin offering these very precious phrases of joy to our own heart, as if we were offering ourselves the most precious, rare gift. And with each phrase, we can briefly visualize, imagine what our life would look and feel like if each phrase was completely reflective of our own life circumstance. Resting. May I enjoy the activities of life itself. May I enjoy things just as they are. May I experience the world taking joy in all that I do. May I know what to do, whatever arises. Resting, breathing. And so now the invitation is to bring into awareness, into our mind's eye, a challenging person. Not somebody who really wronged you in the past, but for someone whom there's some real clear tension towards. And if there's a sense of competitiveness towards this person, that can really serve this practice. If not, that's fine. Just a sense of struggle or challenge, that works too. And so as we allow this recollection of this person or visualization to come into focus, we'll begin extending these phrases of joy to this challenging person's heart. Visualizing, imagining what their life would look and feel like for them if each phrase was completely reflective of their own life circumstance. May you enjoy the activities of life itself. May you enjoy things just as they are. May you experience the world taking joy in all that you do. to do whatever arises. Feeling, noticing any resistance and any feelings of joy. If your heart is sympathetically vibrating to the success, the pleasure, the joy of our challenging person, notice that, feel that. And if the inner critic is there, notice that. Feel that. And they might be both there. May you enjoy the activities of life itself. May you enjoy things just as they are. May you experience the world taking joy in all that you do. May you know what to do, whatever arises. resting, breathing, feeling. And so here, in this stage of practice, the invitation is to allow any visualizations in the mind's eye to move into the background or to fade, if you will. And holding in the foreground any experience of joy which may have arisen during this practice. And if you wish, recalling maybe perhaps the phrases of joy for yourself that we did at the beginning, if that helps. Or if you could feel a resonation of joy with your challenging person, bringing that into awareness. And feeling into this joy. Where does this experience of joy arise for you in the body? What's the visceral, felt experience of joy? It might feel like a warmth around the heart, or a softening in the abdomen, perhaps an energetic feeling in the shoulders, the arms. It might be just a very faint feeling of joy, or it might be rather predominant. The intensity of the experience of joy is irrelevant. But just feel what's there, whether it's small or large, warm or cool, an energetic movement or stillness, whatever is there, whatever joy feels like. And so here the invitation is to go into the experience of joy as much as possible. You might experience this as if you were entering into a warm pool of water, submerging your whole body into the experience of joy. Or perhaps visualizing this joy as warm, golden, honey-like syrup being poured into the top of your head, drenching the skull with this golden joy, soaking the brain, and flowing down the bottom of the skull, drenching the vertebrae one by one, coating the entire spinal column with this warmth, this joy, this energetic warmth of goodness, kindness, happiness. And as this golden syrup of joy reaches the bottom vertebrae, then inviting it to spread out throughout the entire body, drenching the rib cage to the marrow of the bones, the muscles, the tendons, the veins, and the arteries, flowing down the arms, through the hands into the fingertips. This warmth, this energetic syrup of joy flowing through the legs, into the ankles and the feet, into the tip of the toes, and really shimmering out from the surface of the skin over the entire body, this radiant warmth of joy, of happiness. Just rest there in that joy, that golden syrup, that energetic joy, just resting there for a breath or two. Recalling that as long as we stay in that joy, we're allowing the neurons to wire and fire together, creating the neurological pathways of joy. Resting, feeling, breathing. And in the next breath, the invitation will be to begin to amplify this experience of joy, turning up the volume on this experience of joy, much in the same way we would turn up the volume on our favorite song on the radio. So just gradually turning that dial to about a 2 or a 3 on the volume knob there, allowing this joy, this radiance to shimmer out from the surface of the skin about 3 feet in all directions. Resting, breathing, feeling. And in the next breath, turning the volume up again to about a 5 on that dial, allowing this radiant warmth of joy to shimmer out from our heart, from our abdomen, from the surface of the skin in all directions, about 12 feet from the body in all directions. Resting, breathing, feeling. And in the next breath, turning up the volume knob again, about 3 notches louder, allowing this radiant joy, this overflowing happiness to shimmer out from the surface of the skin, from the heart, from the abdomen, in all directions, filling the entire room that you're sitting in. And here, if it feels comfortable, inviting the challenging person in to our radiant joy. You might visualize them seated in front of you, receiving benefit, receiving your radiance, your joy, receiving benefit from your efforts in this practice today. So generously extending the gifts of joy through this radiance, through this warmth. Witnessing them receiving with gratitude your generosity. And so we'll stay with this for another breath or two, just allowing this amplified experience of joy to overflow from your heart, from your abdomen, from the surface of the skin in all directions, filling the room, benefiting your challenging person. And rest there. Breathing, breathing, resting. So in the next breath, we'll begin to shift away from the meditation and back into a conversational space. I'll cue that by ringing the bell 3 times.